Assalamu alaikum students, your instructor Abdul Rafi here for mathematics and accounting at Cambridge and IGCSE and Edexcel A levels. So today we are going to discuss additional mathematics, syllabus and the paper pattern. Okay, so what do we have in the syllabus? There are some recent changes and we have the syllabus now that will be followed from 2025, 2026 and 2027. So let's write it down. This syllabus is going to be followed from 2025 to definitely 2027. All of them included, which is basically May, June, and October, November series. The first important thing students need to understand that IGCSE Additional Mathematics, which is basically 40, which is basically 0606, and O level additional mathematics, which is basically 4037 code. Both of them have exactly 100% similar syllabus. Okay, so the syllabus is 100% matching, same, and both have the same papers as well. What we need to understand that there's a lot of changes. Let's start discussing. The first main thing, students, additional mathematics is an extra subject for the IGCSE O level students, which is very helpful in the A level mathematics. If you are planning your career in mathematics field, make sure additional mathematics will definitely help you. Although students consider the trend says that it's a bit difficult subject, it takes time, but as we always know that maths is all about practice. Practice will help you get a better grade in this. The best thing about the syllabus now is there are two papers, paper 1 and paper 2 students, those who are starting from grade 9 onwards or those who are going to give the exam next year or next couple of years. We need to understand that we have paper 1 and paper 2, two papers. Both of them are 50% weightage. Okay, so both of them have 50% weightage. Okay, 50% is the weightage, so both papers are equally important because both papers have the same weightage. Okay, the second thing is both of them will have the same marks as well. Both of them are of 80 marks as well. Okay, so both of them are 80 marks. Number of questions are not defined. There can be structured questions, parts question as well. 80 marks both of the papers are. What's the main important thing is the recent syllabus changes that paper 1 is no calculator is allowed. Okay, no calculator. Paper 1 will now be no calculator, students. Although both of them have the same weightage, same marks, but no calculator is and in paper 2 calculator is allowed. Okay, so students need to understand that in paper 2 calculator will be allowed but no calculator is allowed in the paper 1. So that is a very significant change that they have made from 2025 May, June onwards. Okay, that students need to understand for the additional mathematics. Next, if we talk about the syllabus techniques, okay, students need to understand that the syllabus is divided into 14 chapters. Okay, with subparts as well. We have 14 chapters in which we have functions, quadratic functions. This is basically also helpful for the P1 in the AS level. Okay, AS level mathematics 9709. These topics are of P1 as well. Okay, then we have factors of polynomials, helpful in the A2 level. That is the A2 level. We have equations, inequalities and graphs as chapter number 4. Simultaneous equations that can have linear quadratic equations to be solved, as well as chapter number 6 is all about logarithms and exponentials. Then chapter number 7 talks about straight line graphs, in which we have gradient, perpendicular bisectors, perpendicular lines, parallel lines, and midpoint distance finding out. Then we also talk about coordinate geometry of the circle. So this is the new topic that have been added in the syllabus, students. Now students need to know about circles properties as well, and how do we find out the equation of a circle, and problems and questions related to circle tangents and those things. This is very helpful in the SAT exam as well, SAT exam, as well as it is part of the AS level 9709 mathematics as well, so it will be helpful in that as well. We have circular measure as chapter number 9, trigonometry, permutations and combinations, helpful for S1, that is again 9709 A level mathematics. A basic understanding is given in the additional mathematics. We have trigonometry, sine rule, cosine rule, as well as you can say about the identities, sine square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1, and all of those other graph sketching and these things. Then we have series as well. Series is basically, we talk about binomial expansion in that, and arithmetic progression and geometric progression. And the last two chapters basically talks about vectors and calculus. As everyone knows that it's basically differentiation and integration with whatever capacity questions that can come. That is basically past paper practice that requires in order to get this. So that is a quick overview about what 14, how you can divide the syllabus. You can divide the syllabus with easy and medium level chapters and hard level of chapters as well. Try to make sure do maximum past papers of topical past papers. But before that, make sure your concepts are very clear, how your basics should be clear. So couple of highlights of the syllabus changes of 2025 till 2027. I'll write it down. The first thing, main thing, is the calculator is allowed in paper 2 only now, and paper 1 will be without calculator for all students. Both of the papers have same marks and same weightage. What we need to understand, the indices and the surds chapter have been removed, okay students? So make sure students need to understand that sir, indices and surds chapter have been removed. It is removed, okay? Indices and surds are removed. The reason for removing it is basically indices and surds are now part of the IGCSE Mathematics 0580 and O level Mathematics 4024. So what we need to understand that it is basically now assumed knowledge. What is the meaning of assumed knowledge, or you can say prerequisite knowledge now, that students should have an idea about this topic, although they will not be tested directly a question on that. Matlab, it means simply students that they will be testing you on that, but in a different way, but not a direct question will be tested. So indices and surds are removed, and marking schemes are also more elaborate now. So they will be giving more marks for more difficult questions, or you can say they will be giving more marks for basically the question that have, for example, if the question is for 6 marks and requires a lot of working, so marking schemes are more elaborated now. They will be giving more marks. Previously the problem was coming that the marks was less and the working the students have to do were more. Students have to do a lot of more working previously, and they were awarded little marks, low marks for it. The question was of less marks. But now if the marks will be more if the question have more working to be solved, okay? So that is one thing, that marking schemes are elaborated so to award more marks, okay? And the important thing is that the circles have been added, coordinate geometry of the circles. So circles is the new chapter that is added in the syllabus. So students should have complete knowledge about equation of a circle and all the properties related to circle to solve the questions related to tangent or any other thing about the radius and midpoint, and those things as well can come in. So coordinate geometry in the circles. So that was how the syllabus and paper pattern will be, students. Hope I have not missed out any point. Any questions can be asked in the comment section. Make sure to start preparing well and try to finish the topics as soon as possible, and then focus on your yearly past papers. Thank you. Have a great day. One of the points, students, that I missed out was that we have basically each paper you have 2 hours to solve, okay? So paper 1 and paper 2 both have 2 hours to be solved. So this was one of the point that I missed out. So I'm ensured that every information related to the syllabus is given to the students. Thank you.